Welcome to True Culture on Human Nature TV, where we stay true to all cultures, especially our own. Thanks for tuning in. You are now vibing with your host who loves you the most. I am Waddy. My partner in shine, Jay Sade, will not be able to join us today. We send her much love and light. But there is good news, brothers and sisters. The Prince is here.
Hey!
Yes, the Prince is here.
Prince is here.
Yes. Let's give a warm True Culture welcome to international journalist, blogger, dynamic host, just all around media powerhouse, DC's own, the Media Prince. Let's do it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate having you today, brother. Appreciate you being here with us, man. Your virtual presence.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No problem at all. No problem at all, man. So let's get right into this, man. I'm super excited to have you here today, man. You popping in the city. You not only are you popping, but you've been doing a lot of good things for the community and the culture. Now, in the media field is a very intense field and very competitive as well. What made you want to get into the media field? What inspired you and motivated you to do that?
Probably, I would say freshman year of college. So about 18 years, I was 18 years old. Wow. 18. The fact that I'm now, just life just like this. So I was actually in radio 101 class. I had a professor named Professor Howard. I would never forget to this day. He did a presentation of just like his background. Like he showed us his show reel. And so we see exactly what he did and where he interned. And I'm like, dang, this is fascinating. Like just the thrill of being able to be at those red carpets, be at those movie premieres, be at those award shows, being, at that station, being at that release party. I kind of wanted to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And to what degree, I didn't know. I didn't know to what degree I wanted to impact into the entertainment realm. So in that class, we were just learning radio aspect of it. So maybe that was the peak of me gaining a lot of interest. I say probably at the age of 20 is probably when I started to say, okay, I think I want to do this in the field of a journalist. To what degree of journalism, I had no clue. It wasn't until I was 23 where I knew that I wanted to do entertainment journalism. And people don't know that journalism is so broad. So you could either be a lifestyle journalist, a photojournalist, a broadcast journalist. So it's so many, but I knew I wanted to do the realm of entertainment. In 2014, I got like a first real big gig by the Urban Informer. He's now the head guy for Radio 1 in Baltimore. But he gave me a shot to just be an album review editor. And it was at those moments I understood that I really wanted to invest into like the music community, the art realm, and make myself that beacon that bridges the gap between the bloggers, the journalists, and the actual TV, radio people. Because let's face it, if you're not TV or radio here, up till now, because now you're seeing a lot of us thrive in the realm of independent media circuits. But then it was more so that, so I wanted to kind of break that narrative and cite that bridge for that. And so it began in 18 and has manifested year by year. So now it's like, this is it. Like I found my purpose. I found my purpose. And now it's been, not to make the answer long-winded, but it's past journalism now. So now we're beyond that. My purpose is to motivate, inspire, and empower. So Media Prince was just the anchor for that. So now I'm more so finding that this is my purpose. So how do I make sure that whatever I'm doing here continuously showcases that?
I'm happy to hear that, brother. You definitely are extremely motivational and inspirational. You're very warm, approachable. Just, I feel like you're just a giving person. Like you are about community, but you're also about being fly, you know what I mean, getting your bag, but you're also about giving back, man. And that's what
Yeah.
everybody should be about. We had more people like that, the world would already be a beautiful place, you know. So um now the times that we are living in are crazy, of course, with this pandemic. And because of the pandemic, the times are especially competitive, more so than any other time. People are losing their jobs, and because of that, they're trying to find more creative ways, seeking different ways of earning additional income. If you were starting off your business today, if you were starting off the media prints today, would you adjust any decisions you made 5 or 10 years ago, or would you adjust the approach you took to your business when you first got started?
Ooh, that's a good question. That is a really good question. So, at times like how it is today, um, I think I'm gonna tell you this too, and this is something that I've learned that you either got it or you either have it or you don't have it.
Right,
So, being as though I'm more prevalent and know exactly what it is and I'm doing now, I've always had this.
right,
I just didn't know I had it then. So honestly, it's something we do natural, which is adapt. If you're able to adapt, then you'll be great in any field. I say that first. So it's a mental thing first on how you'll adapt into this realm. So cool. We're dealing with something none of us have ever dealt with before. I can use you as an example. How you're able to navigate and do what you're doing right now in this time frame. This was something you just you put into play. You got into driving mode. Okay, we're here in this moment. Okay, I need to just go ahead and do this, this, and this.
right.
You're planning, you restructure, and you just adapt to the time. I think now we're saying that the digital market is heavy. So
Extremely.
how I would have hit the payment running now is making sure that first studying how it is now, like I did back then, because back then I studied my market. Now I would study my market. First, find my niche. What is it that I want to do, and who do I want to cater to? And bam, how can I cater to them digitally? And then make sure I get my paperwork correct, get my name trademarked, get all my business paper stuff, and then bam, let's get to it. Now, what I do want people to also do, since we are in a new time and things as far as an entrepreneur, I tell people always have, like as an entrepreneur, we know the focus is multiple streams of income. We
Right.
always, so as an entrepreneur, you should also have multiple streams of income. So if you have a 9 to 5, or if you have an essential employee job, that's multiple forms of income.
Mm,
And you use that income to help propel the income of what you know is this is going to catapult you to the next level. So it's all about what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. So in this time frame, if I was let go of everything and I knew I wanted to start in the realm of entrepreneurship, I'm gonna make sure I write down everything, see what the prices are, and then if I don't have that, if my job was great and furloughed me, I'm getting either unemployment, I'm applying for these small business grant loans, and I'm also getting me a job at either Harris Teeter
right.
or CVS, something that's needed now so that I know that I have a consistent paycheck coming, which will allow me to fund the anchor, which will end up feeding my family. So yeah,
Right.
it's just moving with the time, but all of that has to go in the mind frame of adapting because some people panic when this came in. We're in a time where we're in a
Don't
time where
panic, organize, right?
we can't be panicking
That's what
right
they
now.
say. Don't panic, organize.
And I think we're also seeing that in a year of panic has come a lot of organization. Like a
Yes.
lot of stuff being organized now. And I think this year was a wake-up call for everybody to finally get into that right mind frame that the time is now and the moment is now because we don't know what is happening tomorrow.
Right.
So adapting, shifting. So can you adapt? Can you shift? Because who's to say we might in 3 years from now it might be just random holes in the earth that we just gotta avoid while we driving or riding. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta just be able to.
That sound like what we go through right now in DC, man, with these damn potholes. Man,
Hey,
Meryl Bowser, she the worst, man. We already got holes in the earth over here in the city,
hey,
man.
the
So,
sad part is I thought it was worse in our areas, in the urban areas. No, it's the upper echelon parts of DC where you can lose your whole tire.
Your
Bruh.
whole suspension, bro. The tie rods, everything in that joint.
Bruh, wheel alignment, everything be all
Yeah,
jacked up.
man. But one thing that we is black and brown people need to do, and I hate to use color labels, but that's what we identify with. We need to make sure that we start complaining and calling our representatives and letting them know that we need our streets fixed. We need our potholes repaired. See, white people, man, they do that. That's why they stay getting their streets repaired because they
We need
call
to
and
also
complain.
learn how. We also need to learn how to complain as well too.
True.
And
The
I hate
process.
to
You're
put
right.
I hate to put it onto a race thing or an etiquette thing, but the system we're fighting to change has already been built for years on a white man's system and a white man's etiquette. So a lot of the people that we're still going to be complaining to, we can't go to them with the rah-rah hoopla. Not saying that that's anything against us, because when we get frustrated and we are entitled to our frustration.
Yes, we are.
But honestly, in order to get these complaints really heard, you have to be able to precisely get your thoughts out clear to the point where it's respect. You get what I'm saying?
You're
Because
right about that. We have to
if I'm clear, concise, I have my problem and I have the resolution and the ways that we can go about this, you have no way but to respect it. And the thing is, with these complaints, we have to just make sure we're going about them the correct way. If there's already a rule playbook, though we're
there's a
fighting,
process.
though we're fighting for change, we gotta first make sure we got a great solid footing in the door, because a footing in the door helps widen the door. But some people are walking up to the door and just banging on the door. Now, I'm not saying that certain circumstances don't require that, because sometimes you gotta bang the door, but not every situation has to come in that realm. So I want people to work sure if you complain, and make sure you know how to complain.
Yeah, you're right. You have to learn the process, and we do have to articulate our thoughts clearly and concisely, and making sure that it's on the right piece of paperwork, a legal document.
Black and brown people are, like, when I tell you, our mind capacity is so freaking epic. I'm not gonna even lie to you.
Oh yeah.
To the point that, and then of course, even the ones that they deem lazy, if we really apply ourselves, and it's nothing we can't do. We're fucking epic. So can you imagine the worst? You know, and that's what they're really scared of, is an educated Black person. It goes far beyond the education system in itself, like we were talking before off Campbell. Researching a Black a person who is educated, like that, has really did their research, has learned a fact, like they coming to you, they scared of that. And if you show them more of that, that's something that makes us also furthermore a force to be reckoned with. But the thing is, we got to make sure that image is seen more than the other side. Because long as we give an other side image, they'll always have something to fight us with. The idea is to not give anybody anything to fight us with. Like, if we come at motherfuckers on our
they always find something. It's just all about us being united. If we unify, don't matter what they fight us with, they never gonna win. But they'll always try to find something.
Yeah, and the thing is, if motherfuckers really knew where they come from and where they're from and like all of that, they would really be like, I feel like we as Black people really have to, not only with progression, but we have to learn the essence of how important we really are. And if we really I will say this, and this is no shade, but if a lot of our brothers and sisters found out where they really come from and what kind of stock they
It
would
would be so
come from,
empowering.
they would be not only empowered, but they will also be embarrassed that they've allowed themselves to get so far disconnected from where we are.
Right. They have bred us to be to act and to think the way that most of us think and act today. So I mean, we just have to get to a point where we say, okay, we know what's going on. Let's change it. Let's do what we can to change it. I don't want to keep complaining. I don't want to keep crying. I don't want to keep marching. I don't want to keep cursing people out and all these things, that all of these avenues that do not get us any positive change. But now all of a sudden, so many people are following the BLM and everything is BLM, BLM. But yet instead, you have black and brown people who go back to their neighborhoods and cuss their neighbors out and fight their neighbors and kill their neighbors. And I mean, recently, I'm pretty sure you've heard not even a week ago. I mean, we lost Lil Marlo, a rapper, Atlanta rapper, signed the QC label. I want to ask you, bro, like, what is it like knowing you were one of the last people to actually sit down and interview that man?
Oh, it's crazy, especially since I don't know. I think with death, it's so sudden. Like sometimes it could be sudden, where and then you meet you come. I think we as humans we come across other humans and we just expect them to either get greater or to learn or go up a path that allows them to be alive. Like when I interviewed him, when I walked away from the interview, I just, felt, okay, he's gonna go back, he's gonna continue making music, he's gonna potentially progress, he's gonna do tours, he's gonna manifest, he's gonna grow. I think things like death are like the last factor in our heads, which is why we're so devastated when it hits. And knowing that I'm one of the last interviews he did, I kind of am even more appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Know that I was able to, in the time that I had, was able to enjoy his energy, and I was able to see, and it's like some artists, when they're doing interviews, it's like they're getting queued up on the interview as they're walking in the building. So some of them are lost
Right.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was epic to see his loss, like his confusion of what's happening, go to like pure laughter and having fun. So it was just like dope to experience that. So, it's sad, but I am appreciative that I got to at least share in the conglomerate of who Marlo was in his essence while he was here. So that's a dope thing.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome, man. Now, you mentioned that you're not focused on, people's personal lives, and I feel like that's the best, not the best part of the media prints, but I feel like it's one of the best qualities of what what your brand represents. Um, you've done so much. You're not focused on negative narratives.
Mm-hmm.
You're not focused on, finding the hot tea and spilling the hot tea. How do you maintain being so authentic in a time that's so trendy and superficial? I mean, you're not focused on negative narratives, like I said, but you're still booked and busy. Your numbers are going crazy. Like, how are you able to stay true to you, but also are able to contribute and be relevant to the culture?
Well, honestly, okay, I'm gonna tell you this, and I vow to this, and I know, and now that I'm big on fate and how manifest in the universe, I honestly feel like so I'm about to tell you what it is, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel like it. So
Spill
when
it.
I created the media prints, now as a male blogger and journalist, it was a few males that I looked up to. One in particular was Perez Hilton. And I
Mm.
didn't look at him, I didn't look up to him for the gossip aspect of journalism. I looked at him for the aspect of creating his own platform and was able to diversify into TV, media, all that in one.
Mm.
Always said I wanted to be the male blogger that Beyonce would feel comfortable interviewing with? Especially the Beyonce now, Lord, I could just dive deep into her head of artistry and be like this. So that's how I based my brand off of. And I prided myself on being that one brand that if Beyonce came in the room, she would feel so comfortable to let her hair down with me because I don't care about what happened in the elevator.
Right. You don't care about none of that madness.
What's Jay-Z. I don't care about relationships. I want to know what's going on in here, because the way the creativeness comes out of you is epic. Get into that, because the thing is and I think with social media too, that we focus so much on the realm of people's lives and getting intertwined with people's lives that sometimes their life will overtake their art.
Mm-hmm.
When people forgot that the art was the first thing we even loved them for. Like, I don't ride home in my car thinking about, people's life and human situations that we all going through. But I'm jamming to your music, or I'm listening to your podcast. So I want to feel your art and where you're coming into. And it's not going against anybody that does celebrity gossip, because, every now and then I have to dive into it with TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's your realm, what I want you to do, though, is at least with your realm is provide the facts. And if you're fact checked, be able to authentically say you're wrong and take accountability, right, and then move on with the next. And then make sure that whatever you're doing, you're the best at whatever you're doing. And then that's it. But for me, I want that Beyonce interview, and I'm claiming it right now. I'm going to interview Beyonce.
Hey, I'm claiming it for you too, man. We're going to speak that one into existence. You'll
be mad at me if I ran to go grab my charger?
Of course not. I don't want your device to power off for me. Come on now.
Hey,
you do your thing, brother.
That 20% mode memo just popped up, and I know 3 minutes later the 10% one gonna pop up. My bad. I live in a mansion. I had to go run downstairs through the theater and then upstairs.
Past the pool and all that.
Past the pool and stuff.
Shit was out there in the beach house, in the guest house.
Wave at the gardener real quick.
I dig it. I dig it.
All right. Let's see. And let's see. We're just gonna see if it's charging. If it's charging, it's charging.
But yeah, I'm gonna get back into it. I just like to fuel the good. Hashtag fuel the good. Hashtag eradicate hate. When you fuel the good,
you might be on to something.
Good changes.
Fuel the good.
Fuel the good. That's my hashtag, man. We got to keep doing that. We got to keep doing that, man. But, back on topic, back to Mr. Langston Vincent, the media prince.
Hey.
Now, you are a TMZ contributor. BET entertainment journalist. You're a voice on iHeartRadio. You've been seen on WUSA 9, Fox 5. Just to name a few. You worked on numerous media platforms that vary in mission and audience. Can you fill us in on your differences in approaches and preparation for these different things?
That's a good question. Jeez. So with media print stuff, since I have total control, it's always just the narrative I want to create. So I'll just make sure whatever I'm doing, I pitch you the vision of where I'm coming from, and you let me know to what altering you want to do. Mm-hmm. With interviews, it's me just researching who they are. With TMZ, that's me putting on my gossip hat.
That's you going against your mission, huh?
Yeah, but in that
we got to do it for the culture, right?
But yeah, the good thing in that realm is when I'm on media print, when I'm on TMZ, I'm sorry, I'm not media prints. I am to an extent, but I'm more so Langston.
Right.
So Langston, I can propel off, like I'm usually use my name. So I'm able to, I try to also pick the stories too that I'm giving an opinion, but I'm not giving a harsh judgment, to more so a broad view of a realm of thinking.
Right.
So thus, with TMZ, I try to walk that fine line. And then iHeart, that was more so understanding how to sound, because with that, you're not seen. So you have to work on how you're talking, what tone are you in? Are you yelling too loud? Do you sound exciting? Do you sound boring? So that aspect of that those are the three rands of how I prep to go into those fields.
That's dope. That was a really good answer. Glad you gave us some insight on that, man. I was definitely curious about it. How you maneuver with the different platforms like that have different target audiences. You know, that seems like it
That
can
was a good
be.
question too.
Now you have a degree in journalism. I mean, PR and marketing. You also have a minor in music. With
Hey,
so many, hey, gotta mention that minor in music, man. You know how much we love music. Now, with so many college graduates unemployed or not employed with a job that's related to their major, right? How does
mhm.
it feel to actually be working in a field that's related to your major?
It feels good, but it's also the reason I'm working in a field with my major is because I had to create my own path. Like with journalism in itself, it's either you work for a big network, you either get that big network job or you wait for that big network job. I didn't want to wait. And I didn't go to school for just anything. I believe in fate. And when I tell you, if I really went through my life story and how things like the stuff that the intricate details that we don't pay attention to, that fly over our head, are the staple moments in the development of who we're going to be as an adult. And if we pay attention to the universe, it shows us that. So I'm big on fate. So now looking back, the reason why I'm the media prince now is because I was a communications major. And the reason why I'm deep into the music realm is because I minored in music. Like, there was nothing else for me to dive into but those crafts. Nothing else spoke to me. So I needed to take those. I needed to learn. And like I said, educating ourselves. And it's not just learning the white man's realm, it's learning how you can be equipped to be in any facet of what you want to do in life.
A lot of people don't think that deeply into things. You know, they see something, they see that you pop in, they see that, oh, this seems like something I would like to do. It's attractive to them. And next thing you know, they want to do it, but they don't understand what it takes to be the media
At
prince.
all.
They
It's
don't
hard.
understand the process and the
Right.
sacrifices and the long nights. And, you
Right.
know, it's so much that goes into that.
And we forget that what you're seeing is, like, no matter how you put it in a ram of schemes from the highest to lowest, what you're seeing is our resume. Our accolades, our things of that nature, that's our resume.
That's your resume.
Our social media, you're seeing our resume. We're making sure that what we put out to the world is what we've worked hard to do for the world to see. Where people are working, they're grinding out blood, sweat, tears.
Yes,
You know, to a degree, we emphasize on that because we want you to understand that this is hard work.
it
But
is.
when you're in the lab working, you're not heavily documenting the struggles, the works, all that, unless you're working on a documentary or if you want to capture that to inspire somebody. But it takes hard work, and people have to understand that the balance of what people are broadcasting and what they're showing and what people are talking about is the hard work that we've manifested. Now, what goes on behind the scenes is hard work. And I want people to differentiate of people like they want to get in the business so that they can over glamorize, their lit. And the idea is those lit moments don't matter. It's the hard work that gets you to those lit moments that matter.
Say it again, media. Hold up. Say it one more time for the people in the back, man. So say it one more time, please, brother, for the people in the back.
So people worry about the lit moments, but it's not the lit moments that matter. It's the hard work, the dedication, the drive, the passion that made those lit moments happen. So like, people, to be honest, what you saying on social media is actually what I want you to see with the brand. I'm at way more stuff and doing way more stuff that I don't even broadcast on there because I don't feel like everything has to be publicized and captured. My best moments are just knowing that I'm working.
Say it again, man.
I'm creating and I'm growing. Long as those keys, because we got to remember too, so we don't know how long social media is here. But while it's here, this is my resume, this is my brand, this is what we're working on, this is what we're doing. Bam. And then every now and then I sprinkle a little bit of the process in Insta stories. I feel like that's a nice gateway for you to travel with me or just see me as, somebody just like you.
Right.
But it's that hard work that make it all worthwhile. Like it's the understanding and seeing what you've been able to accomplish versus like that. The picture is, of course, great as a look, but how did you get that look? How did you get into that room to get there? Like that's the key part. It's right. The hard, because you don't just automatically get in that room. There's some work that has to be done to get in that room. Trust me.
That's in any room though. We have to, right. I feel like as a people nowadays we're so comfortable that we forget that anything good takes hard work. Anything that you're building to last, if you're building something to last, it takes hard work. So that's in any field, in any capacity, and I feel like nowadays, so I feel like social media has screwed us up, man. Social media has screwed us. So when Instagram started,
social media was built different though. Like social media, and I think now social media has become more integrated for businesses, but unfortunately, social media was not built on businesses. So at first, social media was just an entity to show flashy pictures, to show where you are. Like it was a picture. Everything was picture or videos, but now it's become a new realm of business. And like I said, adapting. Some people adapted and was able to get on the business board of things. And then some people are still living in a fantasy realm where they still want to just show off. And the thing is, at the end of the day, what are you really showing off? Because if you're not doing a skill or you don't have a skill, you're really not really showing, you're not giving anything to the conglomerate of where social media is now. If I'm not coming to your page and I'm feeling inspired or I'm seeing a consistency, a work ethic, product, then I'm like, what am I seeing? Your everyday life, just you being a regular person. Not saying it's a bad thing, but
well, I mean, over the years, it has evolved though. Like Instagram, when that was initially created so that regular people could keep up with celebrities, so that we can actually tap into celebrities' everyday lives and see what they're doing, what they do when they wake up, what they're doing at noontime, on an everyday basis. Then it evolved over time and people decided they wanted to be celebrities and they decided they wanted to step into that realm. So, and I mean, Facebook was first created to keep people in contact with each other.
Yeah,
high school friends, family, distant relatives.
I never forget that. I made a Facebook the summer of 2008, and it was so I can learn who I was going to college with. So I liked my university page, and I started following all the people that I was going in, and I started just writing them like, hey, I got accepted I see you're doing great things there. Do you mind if we connect when we get? So that was like my first stream of each media I use for something personal. Like MySpace was to show off in high school. Facebook was to meet the my fellow classmates. Twitter was to sound cool like the celebrities, and then Instagram was to honestly. I joined Instagram just to show off that I had an iPhone, because remember Instagram was only for
right in the beginning. It was only for iPhone. You're right.
So I was just pressed to get Instagram to show that I had an iPhone. So I hit that, and then Vine was just a place to do silly stuff in the house, like TikTok, like how TikTok is now. But it never was in the realm of business. But again, with
so many apps, man. It's like we got all these. There's so many apps right now, bro.
We watched Instagram shift. We watched it become something what Android users could use, and then you started to see more brands, artists, influencers. Like you started seeing the realm of Instagram and social media changing, and again with adapting like how we're doing now, we're all in the digital realm. It's either you get on board with what you see is happening, or you're left behind. And the thing is, I don't like being left out of a wave. So whatever I can still be authentic to myself and still capture that realm of audience, then
it's a good thing. You're right about that, man. You've had you're very young, but you've had a lengthy career. I mean, it's not everybody that has a 9-10 year career in the game already. You know, you've interviewed a vast array of artists. I mean, Ace Hood, Megan Thee Stallion, Fat Trail, Stymie, Rico Nasty, Will the Rapper, bro, like Lonnie Love, Samaya Reese, Deja Perez. And I mean, this is just to name a few. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, right? Who is someone? Now I know you mentioned Beyonce earlier, but I'm still a little curious. Who is someone you'd like to interview, but the opportunity has not presented itself yet? I mean, who would your dream interview be? Besides Beyonce, because you've already mentioned her earlier.
All right. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, and my last one, if I had one last one, because those are the top four.
Now I said someone, but you can go ahead and name about 5 people.
I'm sorry.
No apologies. No apologies necessary, man.
Those are the top. Oh, and then honestly, the last one, and it kind of I don't mind being a 2-for-1, Michelle and Barack Obama.
Okay, that'd be a very interesting. I would actually have some questions I would have to slide you because I want to know a couple things from them. I would have to talk about Gaddafi. You be mad at me? Slide you a Gaddafi question for that Negro. I'm like, Obama, I need to know what happened. Why did you kill Gaddafi, man? But anyway,
you know what's funny? People don't know I have a political background too. I worked at DNC.
NAACP too, right?
But I worked but my first round into politics was working at the DNC. I started in 2010. I worked there until he got elected. This is the second term. So I was the DNC up until mid 2011, and then 2012 while he was running for the new presidency for the second time. I got, once DNC was over, I got promoted to OFA, which was Obama for America. I was the deputy field organizer in Charlotte. So, and when I tell you, that's when I really learned how the numbers game worked. It was a numbers game.
And it's all politics.
And Greensboro was killing ass. So if they've got 1,000 registered voters and 500 phone banks, and they've got this many certain data stats in the records, then we need to have 1,500, and then we need to have 1,000 here. Like, it was a numbers game. He won, so I really felt really proud of that, because I was a part of that. But Yeah, a lot of people don't know I had politics too. I've pretty much done a plethora
I mean,
of
you do it
a
all,
lot
brother.
of.
You do it all, man.
I never forget that because that was we was all in Charlotte. That was the first time. That was the first time I met Tashina Arnold. That was the first time I shook Michelle Obama's hand because she came and met with all the people during the convention. Brought us food, bomb food too. Oh my God, it was
Man, that's one
Italian.
thing they better get right is food. They better got
It's
that food right.
I felt like she flew to Italy herself. There was spaghetti, fettuccine, lasagna, Parmesan chicken, eggplant,
Probably
shrimp
authentic
Alfredo.
too.
Bruh,
All authentic Italian too. Not that American Italian shit.
you know me and my few partners that you meet up in the link up, we all find out we do the yeah,
Right.
and you take a little break, and then you come back in and crash, and then get back to work.
You get right back to work, man. I dig that, but it's funny you speak of the different facets. You're so multifaceted, and you are a man who wears many hats, literally and figuratively. Now,
Hey,
how do you hey now how do you maintain balance in your personal and business life with so much going on at once, bro? Like, does it ever become overwhelming?
I'm appreciative that it does, but that it is becoming overwhelming. I appreciate that because that lets me know that I'm getting busier.
Level up.
But
Yep. You
the
leveling
ba-
up.
the balance I find that I like to make sure is that at least one day a week, I don't care. It's me. It's either my time to relax and edit, or it's either my time to relax and sleep, or relax and catch up on TV, or relax and hang out with friends, or relax and get drunk, or relax and get ultra in the clouds. I just make sure at least that or be with family. So I like to make sure at least one time a week I'm dedicated. It's me. I come first. That's the balance. You can't. We're going to be working for the rest of our lives, no matter what we care about. It's either
Yep.
going to be love or something you hate. Either way, you're going to be working. But how much time will you use to yourself? Now, next year, now that I'm in my 30s, I just turned 30. I'm going to.
Happy birthday to you. Nah, but I already told you happy birthday. But my
Yes, you
my
did. Yes,
fellow
you did.
Cancerian brother, much
Yes,
love again
I,
to you on your birthday.
did
Happy
Did
birthday.
you turn up for your birthday?
Oh, you know I did.
Hey, because I think me and you have to get together off this thing, and we have to have us a birthday treat for both of
Oh,
us.
you already know it. I wish, man. Honestly, I went. I wish I could have taken you with me, bro. Let's just say that. But me and you, that shit was so awesome, man. I can't. I'm gonna talk to you about that off air, man.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, and I'm glad you are still here, kicking, breathing, and able to manifest another year. But I was saying to that though, this year I'm going to incorporate. The goal is to incorporate, even like take my self care to a higher standard. So I want to invest in going to spas, making a feet and hand day, and
Yes.
actually vacations. That way I can really disconnect even more. So that's why I'm going to be going at in the 30s. So
Now
taking
that
it
is
to
something we could definitely do together because I love my spa days. But we got to find somebody that's gonna make. I'm looking for somebody that's gonna make house calls, bro. We could set something up real nice in the house, man. Because
and make it.
I for one am a social distancer, dog. Like I've been social distancing before the pandemics, but I mean we've all been inconvenienced and separated from our friends and loved ones in one way or another during
And
this
honestly,
quarantine. You know what I
I,
mean?
honestly too, when we have, tell you too that I think would be a nice tip that we all take heed is if we have sickly or elderly people in our family, that we really need to be working hard to boosting their immune system,
Yes.
keeping them sheltered.
Yes.
But the more sheltered you in, the more your body will come of an effect once they come outside. Because if you come outside, like how we do as a baby, after a certain time, you take your baby outside so that they can feel the world, so that they can, build their immune system. I say in these times, make sure you're giving your people heavy vitamin C, heavy garlic, heavy
Ginger,
heavy
elderberry.
elderberry, like giving them heavy stuff like that, turmeric, making sure they're taking
A lot of water too, making sure they're staying
lots of
hydrated.
hydration, lots of vitamin D as well to make sure their bones and everything is in order, and then making sure that they're good. As long as you're protecting their immune system,
Yeah.
you're constantly helping in the fight of it, because some of even our elder people might have traces of already been fighting something like this, and they don't even know because we're sheltering them in the house. So long as we just continue to build their immune system and stuff like that, we'll all be good. That's
Yep.
the people, and this is So I took a break, but I'm about to dive back into Orisha.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of this before.
Yes, Orisha. Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of things of how we as a people like think that they trying to classify as endangerment, like stuff like voodoo and things of that nature and rituals. They try to deem it as dark magic, but it's really how we are honestly, those are the divine moments when we and the earth are one, and the powers that be within the realm of the universe, the world, are in us in those realms. So I always say, there was a way that we were living and thriving and succeeding in health and endurance prior to doctors and medicine.
Right.
We're seeing today. And
Right.
so those roots, those herbs, they work. Like people like Dr. Sebi and people are not just talking out their ass.
No, they're
Like
not.
those are the ways of how we got through life before white civilization. So, and mind you, we're only here in America. Our people have been thriving and curing themselves for stuff for I don't know how long. But the white man has,
Thousands of years, thousands. We were here before the white man.
right,
The
and
natives
we
were
were
here.
successfully getting through health and alignment prior
Mm-hmm.
to. Honestly, think the way things have been doctored and created here, the reason why we need so many types of medicines, because nothing was done purely, and
Right.
that's everything was stolen or trying to copyright or redo. And when you copyright or redo, you're never going to get originality, you're never going to get the pure form, you're going to get the modified version. And
We get
that's what we're
further and further away from the real form.
getting.
Yep.
So we're not getting the real chickens anymore, we're not getting the real fruits anymore, we're not getting the real.
Everything processed, man. They cutting it up,
And
man.
then that throws into diseases and everything. And now I mysteriously need these pills, and I mysteriously need these pills and these pills. And then next thing you know, I'm a pill-ass person.
Right.
There's herbs on how our people, specifically, which honestly, all of us are Black, even the white people. They try to run from it as far as they can, but their civilization started in Africa. It's
Yeah.
no ifs,
Look at
ands,
you.
or
What you know about the pale skinned Africans, man? Look at you
but I'm
impressing me
saying
today.
it goes into how where you were born at. The
Right.
farther away you are from the sun is the pigmentation. But the thing is, and that's the downfall is, the people that they built a system on hating are who they come from. That's who you
Right.
are.
Well, see, this
We
is
are
why
the
I don't
people.
say white. I don't like to say the white man. I say white supremacy.
Yeah.
White supremacy started with imperialism. If we had never had imperialism, white supremacy would have never been born. But things evolve, right? And people try to take something from you and add their own uniqueness, their own, vernacular, their own ideologies and stuff, and try to make it their own. But really, they took it from someone else. A Caucasian human being could not survive on this planet for generation after generation without having some melanin in their added to their bloodline. And let's be real, everybody walking this earth has some level of melanin in their body, else they would not
Let's
be
be
alive.
frank.
You
Be
have to have
frank.
melanin in order to live.
Let's be frank. Everybody walking this earth, like when it's all said and done, our genetic mutation of how we came to be is Black. Like Everybody
Yeah.
on this earth is black. When it's all
Evolution. Well, yeah, race doesn't. This is why my platform is called Human Nature TV. There's only
right.
one race, the human race. In order to conquer, you have to divide. And the only way you can divide people is to label them, to give them reasons to divide themselves. If I call you a man and you call me a woman, then automatically we are embracing a difference that really doesn't exist in the form that we think it exists in. You know, you and I are the same. We're just opposite degrees. We're on two opposite degrees, but we're still human beings, you know. So, I mean, it's a long story with that. We can get into race, but, you know, the race
Yes,
doesn't exist
I
to
just want to
me.
see I just want to see how your head is at. You know how I just want to see if you agree with me. Do you know how people are taught that man was the first on earth and then of man came woman? Just in my theory of thinking, I believe that maybe woman was the first person on earth and that man came from her.
Yes, for sure. Women
I
were the
mean,
first
if
human beings
if you
on earth.
if you go into like how the manifestation of life is, a man comes like a man or a woman, they come from a woman. So I'm wondering
You know how
that always
deep this shit go though,
wonder
bro?
that always made me wonder to what degree how did the first man come on earth then if he didn't have a woman to come out of or a piece of her vessel to come out of, which I also name you guys as um which is why also it's so crazy how when I say pussy whip, the man was the first pussy whip because I always say that the woman's inner workings are that of a fruit.
Mm.
So I always say that the man tasted the fruit, but to what degree? What fruit did he taste? Did he sinfully taste the fruit of the tree, or did he sinfully taste the fruit of the forbearance of the woman? So it's to what degree of that? And it is, I'd be so just
I mean, all
thinking.
that's mythology, man. It's like you already know how I feel about the Bible. We supposed to take the good, take the meat and leave the bones, man. Take the meat and leave the bones with everything.
I like how my church, Ebenezer AME, ties in the Bible, but it grounds it in the black perspective. Like I get my roots. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel how they take the Bible and they tie it into the realm of our people and how we can see ourselves and how we can envision those situations from the black hemisphere. So
Right.
yeah, I like it too. So I'm
Yeah,
definitely
I mean,
with
it's
you.
a good thing that we do have different denominations. Thankfully, it's not one religion throughout the whole world, but I mean, all of it boils down to the same thing: it's oppression. You know, one of the main reasons, and this is not me. I don't want to, challenge anybody's beliefs or anything, but just me personally. I'm not a religious person because there is no religion in this whole entire world that does not oppress women. And I, for one, am a woman's woman, and I will never ever support anything that oppresses women or oppresses anyone. But to oppress a woman is to oppress humanity.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just not a religious person. I'm more spiritual than anything. I believe in the Most High. I believe in the only source, the true source, the greatest creator of them all.
I believe the people that made these rules and these systems knew all of that. They knew the importance of the woman. They knew the importance of the black people. They knew the superior of everything,
Yeah,
and why they fought against that. So the things that we're learning and we're understanding, they knew, which is what scared them to make us not know that.
yeah,
So yeah, they knew. Like that's what I'm saying. That's how dope that we are as a people, and
right.
and that
They have to pin us
you
against each
hated
other.
yourself, that you did this to yourself because at the end of the day, my bloodline, who my beginning starts to, so does yours.
Right. The people the puppeteers, they are embedding all of these negative false narratives and negative rhetoric in our psyches, and they are pinning us against each other. You know, and if you don't have if I can't talk to you as a black man and respect you, give you respect, love, and understanding, and you reciprocate that, where do we go? We can't. There's nowhere moving forward in a positive way. We can't move forward because we can't even talk to one another.
It works hand in hand. I think once the man and the woman understand they're a duo, then that's when it's a force, because
Right.
the
Right.
the woman's support, the woman's grounding, the woman's build up, the woman's block, like the way that a woman, especially the Black woman, can honor in life and build you up to a degree is impactful. It's needed. It's wanted. It's how you
Ain't nothing
succeed.
like a good woman, man.
It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. And then you're able to take those feminine attributes that they're helping build and put into you, and it allows you to become a real rounded person to
Right.
where you continue to be great. I always say, I feel like honestly, the thing that they describe as femininity in a man is his heart. Like when it's all said and
Yep.
done, every aspect that you're trying to make sound feminine is you trying to tell him the nigga don't have a heart.
But that's who
If I,
men are. That's who men are. Y'all are the hearts. Women are the minds. And then we come together and give each other. It's like what you don't have, I have, and what I don't have, you have. That's the beauty of duality, right? And duality teaches us that every aspect of life is created from a balanced interaction and of opposite forces, not necessarily competing forces, but opposite forces. Yet these forces are not just opposites, right? They are actually complementary. And that's what we get away from. Like, these, you and I, we complement each other. And it doesn't have to be in a sexual way. We associate everything with sex nowadays too. We go too far off in this sexual bag. And that's what corrupts a lot of shit too and taints a lot of things. But let's be real. Neither side cancels out the other side, right? So, feminine and masculine energy don't cancel each other out. They merely balance each other. I mean, like shit, like bird, like wings on a bird. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one wing without the other wing. You can't, because the bird won't fly. It's like, and one wing is not better than the other. It's just like these things belong together. They balance each other out. So I'm with you on that, brother, for sure, man. We just gotta get to the point that we understand it's not you against me, it's us against them. And
say
we
that
gotta
shit.
master that, man. We gotta start mastering our energy, man.
And then maybe one day we'll actually get to the point where we're understanding it's just us, period. It's not us against anybody. It's just
Just
us. Like
us.
we're
I like
all,
that. I like the way you put that.
because the thing is, when it's all said and done, is the idea of life is not to be in a fight. That's like you watching your kids all fighting for a chair at the table when there's a chair designated for all five of them at the table.
Thank
So
you.
we're all God's children, and we're all literally the same. We're just different pigments and different sprinkles of this and sprinkles of that. But at the end of the day, we're all the same, and we're just down here fighting against something that's destined for all of us, which is pure life, happiness, joy, peace, and love. Like,
We
but
just here to love and create, man. All this other
yeah,
stuff we
love and
complicate life with is
literally
crazy,
love
man.
and create.
Love and
And
create. So pretty much, COVID-19 and being hunkered down more has actually enhanced your creative process and productivity. Now, how has the dating life been during COVID-19? Has your love life prerequisites been like modified? Has it been modified since experiencing
no,
this pandemic, man?
nope.
I guess
If
I
I
should ask you, are you single first? But I ain't want, you'll
yeah,
tell me what you want to tell me.
I'm 100% single. My fiance, my life partner, my wife, my dating female, my sister, my brother, the boyfriend, all that shit is the media prince. Like
Okay.
that's my whole ram of everything. My career is my number one priority, just because I'm in a space where I can see the end goal, and mentally I'm not in a space where, and this always has to go on accountability of yourself too. I'm not mentally prepared to be in a relationship and dedicate 50-50 time with a relationship and my career. Like where I'm at in life mentally, my 100% focus is on my career and then my family and loved one and friends. That's it.
That's good.
Now, yeah, but mentally, I'm at a place where I'm like, I can taste it. And I'm like, where can this go? So I don't want to get into anything that would take my vision off of the end goal. Because, and we're not gonna lie, relationship is a job in itself, and
Oh
it's not
yes.
saying a bad way, but
Requires dedication and hard work.
it requires dedication and hard work. And honestly, too, I don't even have the time to even vet a relationship, because you also, too, in the field that we're in, you need to be with people that are like yourself. Just because if I'm on the goal of becoming great and you're not on the goal of becoming great, like you're on the goal of just getting a not, and damn, I'm sounding like B Simone, but if you're in a realm of just you wanna get a good government job, you just want benefits, and you wanna, this is your cap, like this is life for you, then I don't know. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's like that, because you could get that one person that sees your vision as like, okay, I'm gonna just be here to support you. But if you don't have the same drive or vision or passion on life that I have, then we really can't grow, because you're not going to never understand where I'm coming from, which means there would be a cap to how I have to express what I'm thinking and feeling to you so you can get it. And I don't have time to be capping or trying to.
Or they have to be extremely secure and understanding. They don't necessarily have to really like what you do doesn't necessarily have to resonate with them, but what they should do is respect it and support it. And if you find somebody who's secure and understanding, it can always work out. But I mean, in life, a lot of us are very insecure and not understanding at all.
I feel like I feel bad for the people that have these dreams and goals and they don't even have a taste of being able to see what that dream or goal was like in their life, because they didn't act on it. And right. I want whoever I'm with to be a dreamer. I want them to be a visionary. I want them to be a creator. I want them to I want to look at you and smile, because I see your passion. Like I see you being you. And I don't want to have to work. And if you don't have that, you'll be constantly working even harder to create that. I want to have that from the start. And right now, that shit is damn near a job itself to find where the fuck they at. So
that's real.
But I'm also not lonely. I'm also
that was my next question. Is this is it a lonely life, or is it litty in the city no matter what time of day it is, man?
It's Liddy City, of course, but I'm also I'm an only child, so the thing I liked about that I've noticed this about myself is when I feel like people around, I'll go be amongst people, and when I don't want to be amongst people, I go the fuck home. Like I don't like being by myself has never been an issue, like ever. Like I don't like. If I want to be around people, I want to be, near people, I go near them. If I don't, I'll go alone. So I've never been one that had to, and I know I have a few male friends who really pride themselves on having the one. I gotta settle down. We getting old. I need it. I'm like, that's what the society made you feel to believe. I'm a man. I can have kids. I can have a wife, all that, a family at any age I freaking want to.
Right.
Right now, what I can't have anytime I want to is a thriving career or opportunities. So while I can right now, who am I to limit that or put anything in the realm of taking that off path? And I have a path for greatness. And unfortunately, though I eventually want it in the future, right now, where I am mentally, I'm not ready to put myself to the back burner.
This is a part of the sacrifices we've been talking about, man. It takes
And
sacrifice. Just,
it
a
takes
lot of things
and
other people are out here
I
doing we can't do because we on a different path, different journey, man.
right.
We got to get it done.
I want people to be honest with themselves, like literally
Right.
honest with themselves. If you're not prepared to be a sacrifice, be single. Because the thing is, that's all it is. And then if you have somebody that wants to be with you and you tell them that this is not where I want to be at right now. And if they want to say, okay, cool, let's keep a friendship and let's continue to just grow until that time is right. If they want to stick around, then hey, that might be the one. You should, but be honest with yourself. If you know you ain't built for a relationship, don't get in one for convenience.
That's the key, man. You have to be
So you're doing
honest. You
a
have to
service to
be
yourself.
honest.
You're doing a disservice to yourself. Like, I don't want to
Right.
have to constantly live all these lives and be unhappy in where I lay my head on. Come on now.
Then when you first started out, what was something that you recognized as a weakness of yours that you've been able to master over the years?
Trying to be fit in with
Mm,
the in crowd of media or entertainment here versus just creating and doing what I do. I think now I'm at a place where, and it's cliche because once you get to a certain point of where you're able to do what you can do, of course you'll do what you do. But where I'm at now, the space that I am now, I would have loved to have been in when I first came out. Like, I
mm,
went through a lot of insecurities with my brand just because uh, I think my intentions were, a little bit misconstrued. Not saying like stuff didn't work out, but stuff definitely flourished. I ain't gonna lie, stuff flourished, but I definitely had those notions of trying to be as close to TV and radio possible because that was the look versus
mm-hmm.
versus just being the look and being
Right. Right.
in my, like, understanding that I'm gonna be the shit in any realm that I put myself in. So stop limiting myself to try to be like that. Like,
Right.
and learning, my walk is my walk. Your walk is your walk. Can if somebody else is shining, congratulate, like, move on, continue your walk because you have to finish your walk. And understanding that which meant for you is meant for you. Nothing can ever contribute to you missing your shot, and I mean that in the humblest way possible.
Right.
Um, if such and such takes my opportunity away, it was never mine to begin with. So what's meant for me is going to happen for me regardless. It's already destined for me. So just walking the line of just walking on purpose. What am I supposed to do? And now knowing that at the end of the day, I like inspiring. I like showing people to be optimistic, knowing that there's no cap on what you can do, living in your infinite self of understanding you can do all and not putting a cap on that. And so I like being able to be that vessel. So when you see the media prints, you could see somebody that took their craft into their own hands and did what they wanted to do on their own terms and pushing people to see their potential selves and seeing, their full capability and that also goes to, I know who we are. We're powerful kings and queens. That's
Yeah.
what literally, we come from kings and queens and gods of the earth.
And whatever we put our minds to and put actions behind, we
Right.
will accomplish. Believe that.
So,
And you've put in so much work to get to the level you're at today. Now that you're receiving so much, I mean, you're being recognized in so many areas. I mean, you're receiving so many accolades for your work. How does it feel to reap the benefits of all the great seeds you planted in your career?
surreal at times just because, but now I bask in it. I think when I get into the surreal times, that's my mind going into those realms of thinking it couldn't be possible, but it can be possible. It's possible. It's happening. Now I'm just appreciating it. thankful and appreciative that this happened, and excited that I get just a little taste of what's to come. Because I feel like this what I'm getting now is just a sprinkle, of allowing me to taste
Right.
the
Little
goodness,
taste.
just for me to taste. And then it's I like to taste and then get back to work. Because I don't like to be overwhelmed in it, because accolades are good, but I don't want to foster my head into being into the accolade, because then that's when I feel like I'll get big headed and they'll be misconstrued. I think now I just think of ways to just take the accolade and then work my way towards, more greatness, and seeing which ways that I can continue to do stuff that'll hopefully spark something in you to do something.
I love that you always come back to self. No matter what we're discussing, you always come back to self, and it to me, it seems like you're not concerned with competition. You're more so concerned with being a better version of yourself every day. Is that how you approach life, or is my intuition off a little bit on this one?
No, you're right. You're right, and you're 100% right. I just yanked my dread. Damn. Woo!
Lord.
No, it's good. It's good. It's just
It's
my
strong though. It's strong. Don't worry.
so sometimes when I turn a certain corner, with like whiplash. But no, yeah. But I've learned, build myself to be like that. Like what's for me is for me. Like, so my discernment is my discernment. So focusing on myself is key. If I'm in tune with myself, I'm constantly working and doing things for me. I don't have time to even in tune into what you're doing or what someone else is doing for me to even be thrown off of that. So
Man, what? That is
I
so
make
true.
that. What could I do? Because the thing is, I'm my biggest cheerleader. Like, I want to put stuff up that I'm sized to do. Like, I'm like, oh shit. Like, because if it pleases me, then bam, then
It's a
that's it.
go.
That's it. That's all. If I'm happy, then gets a go. And that's how I set up my life. And I think we've gotten conditioned to where people think selfish is selfless. And there's a big difference. I feel like selfish is not selfless. Selfish is understanding and garnishing and catering to yourself, putting yourself first. And then I think selfless comes into play to where you have those situations where you act accordingly and not unto oneself. But I'm definitely in a space where I selfishly put me first, which is why I'm able to probably manifest some of the things that are meant for me, just because I put myself first, because my happiness is utterly what happens. In order for me to meet my best self, I have to be happy. If I'm not happy, then how can I be my best self? And then my best self, once I'm my best self, I can act selflessly onto others.
Right.
But I build myself to the place where I need to be in order to selflessly share that with other people.
I dig that. I dig that, brother. Now, for the people out there, just trying to make it into the industry, what's the difference? What's the differences you've experienced between now and 10 years ago? Back then, was it more difficult to break into the media field? Is there any advice you can give aspiring media personalities who are attempting to break into the industry but are having a hard time, of course?
Got you. I for me was when I first got into the game, my first goal was just to be part of a big publication. I either wanted to work BET or Complex or Billboard, you name it. I wanted to work in that realm, and I started to notice that may not be my calling. And still to this day, I think it's not my calling, but I think my calling was to do it myself. I noticed that in the communication realm, I noticed stuff wasn't working out for me, and opportunities were just, it's like everybody else was getting. I started to wonder, I'm not seeing any success with it. I said, maybe I'm meant to be my own media entity. So sometimes you might just be your own answer. You're trying to find other outlets to be the answer for your career to be what it is, and sometimes it might just be you.
Right.
So sometimes there might be a niche that needs to be answered, and the reason why no one's checking for it is because you haven't created it yet. So sometimes it may take you to be that actual that journalist that you're seeing in your vision. You might actually have to be that journalist, and then the names come onto you. So it'd be your stuff that you're collaborating with people and you're getting through the doors with your name versus relying on a bigger name. So sometimes it might just be you. So it's all evaluating to what degree you want to do this and how you're shaping it. And it's all the mind frame thing as well. Patience and discipline too as well. Patience is because this could happen 5 years from now. This could happen 10 years from now. Patience is key. And then discipline is just making sure that you're disciplined on your craft, continuously get better, continuously do it. If this is something you really love and you really do, and you're not trying to chase a bag for it, this is just something you actually really love and do, then you'll continue to discipline yourself and nurture the craft. And then when your time is hit, you'll be ready.
That's good advice, bro. That's solid advice right there.
Don't focus on the future. Focus on the now. Be present. Enjoy the slowness. Enjoy being able to still hang with your friends. Enjoy having time to do the slow down stuff with them. Because once you pop off, you're gonna wish
no
you
time.
took it.
Right. You got no time there for sure.
Yeah, live in the now. Enjoy. We're building our stories. We're eventually be giving this game to somebody. We're going to be giving this game to a room full of people. I plan to be on panels and forums.
Right. Now let's step into that. Was awesome advice. I appreciate you for that, brother. I'm about to just go ahead and get into the quick 6, man. I'm gonna ask you 6 questions.
Okay.
Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Now, 1, what's a slang or term that you feel society overuses?
Nigga.
Okay. What do you think is overrated?
And is this in terms of anything?
Anything, just in life.
Hating.
It's overrated.
It's so overrated.
What do you think is underrated?
Compassion.
Good answer. Great answer. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, hey, that's funny you said this. Okay. So I have 2. It would be the perv in me would be invisible.
You stupid.
And the like the me that's not the perv would want to be able to read minds.
You could probably use that to be a perv too, but name one thing you don't want to change post-COVID.
The drive of everyone. Like I feel like this COVID put everybody into an overdrive of passion or a drive of love, a drive of self. Like I feel like
some form of drive, yeah.
Like throughout the negative bullshit, a lot of positive came out of this year, and it wouldn't have happened if we weren't in this situation. So I want that to continue post-COVID.
That's a good answer. If you could heal one thing in the world, what would it be?
Cancer. And I went in charge.
I did. See? Man, go ahead, bro. We need more people like you out here.
But what I would need you to do is book an appointment and show up on time. That's all I need.
Right. Just don't waste my time. Just don't do that.
Just be on time, please, because I got to get everybody.
That's what's up, man. Those are 6 good answers, man. 6 good answers, brother. Yeah. Now we're going to end today's show the same way we end every show, on a positive note. The best view comes after the hardest climb. Be positive, be mindful, be grateful. be loving, be understanding, be kind, and keep believing. Better days are ahead. Now, I want to thank you again, the
I
media
like.
prince, Mr. Langston Vincent, for vibing out with us and sharing your work with True Culture. I'm super excited about your future, brother, man. I know that
I'm excited
2020,
for us.
man, I think I'm more excited than you, though, and I don't know how the hell that's possible, but I see great things for you and also know you're a good person, man. It's anything that True Culture can do to support you and empower you in any way, we're going to for sure do it. I know 2020 and 2021 and beyond is going to be nothing short of amazing for you and your awesome team. Matter of fact, shout out, man. Shout out just one PR, by the way.
Hey.
Shout out shot by MLB, by the way.
Yes, that's the
Right?
team right there.
Yeah, shout your whole team out. Matter of fact, any shout outs you want to give, bro?
I just want to shout out to every Black person that's doing great. You deserve a shout out because we don't give that enough. So that's it.
That's dope,
Every
man.
person that's up there, get into it. Now, if you're doing it illegally, please just try to not get caught. But we try to do it legally. But everybody that's actually getting up has a drive, and they're trying to put their best foot forward and really like make their stamp on the world. Shout out to you. That's what it is. Shout out to you.
Most definitely. Shout out to you. And anybody out there that's working more on being a loving, understanding individual.
Hey.
Shout out to you as well. Shout out.
Hey.
Big shout out. Major shout out to you. And y'all make sure to tap into the Media Prince at themediaprince.com. That is THEMEDIAPRINCE.com, and on all social media platforms at The Media Prince. Stay tuned to True Culture on YouTube at Human Nature TV. That's HUEMAN Nature TV on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, and Twitter.
Hey.
Brothers and sisters, the revolution may not be televised, but it will be broadcasted. True Culture on Human Nature TV. Peace.